welcome to part 2 of my little photo album that I'm making for my niece's birthday. Now, I was watching a video today by Squdge Crafts. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, it looks like Squdge Crafts. And she did this lovely little sort of booklet just using for envelopes. And I messaged her and I said, you know, I'd like to make a little booklet like that for one of the pages in the album. So I'm going to try that today. I need to make 4 envelopes and then I'll decide whether for the page I'm going to use the 3 or the 4 to make the little booklet. So because this is mainly a blue and a pink album, I've taken 2 pieces of the pink shades from my Shabby Rose book, and I've taken 2 of these blue ones from Blue Land, which is also a Stamperia pad. So I'm going to sit and make these envelopes and then make them into a booklet. Okay, so for the size of the envelopes that I want, which is 4.5 by 4.5, like a square envelope, I've cut these pages according to my We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. I've cut them down, the paper size down to 7.5 by 7.5, and I need to make the first punch and score at 3 3/4. The only problem is with pattern papers, it's hard to see your score lines sometimes. Okay, so they're all punched and scored now, and I'll get on with just folding them into the little envelopes. So there we are, I've got my envelopes ready, and I'm just going to stick them all together, and then I'll be back and show you where they're going to go in the page. Okay, so we've now got a little book of envelopes, and it just makes little pockets and smooth sides, and it just turns into a little booklet. I'm almost sure I've done something wrong somewhere, so I'm going to quite possibly, in fact I will, I'll put a link in the description box to the tutorial that Squdge Crafts did, because it's so much better than mine. But basically all it is, you 4 envelopes and you just took the flap of one into the opening of the other, and then you'll just have a pocket on one side, then a smooth side, pocket on one side and a smooth side, and again pocket and smooth side. And the original flap from this envelope that doesn't go into any of the others is just around the back and just making a neat spine for the little booklet. I'm sure when Squdge Crafts did it, she didn't tuck this in, it just went round to the back so that it made this smooth thing, but somehow mine's ended up inside. But I'm happy with that because you know, it's all as it should be as far as I can tell, and I'm just happy with that to go inside one of the pages of my photo album, so that, you know, she can put photographs on one side, tuck some little notes or more photos in the other, and use that booklet going through. Okay, so that's the booklet. I'm going to attach it to the page, but what I was thinking was, when I put it on the page, obviously I'm going to seal it down from the back. From that side it's going to be sealed down, so I'm going to put some ribbon either side first so that I can lift that up, tie it in a bow, and then that will be sealed, a sealed booklet. You can just open the bow and then go through it. Okay, so I've stuck my ribbon down ready for this to go on top of, so I'm just going to put plenty of glue on this back side and make sure it's all stuck down. I prefer to use the Collal for things like this because it doesn't warp the papers at all. With it being solvent based glue, it doesn't, there's no like water to make the pages all soggy. So there we go, plenty of glue on the back. Make sure it's sealed around all the edges. Sorry, you couldn't see me doing that, could you? Sorry. I forget sometimes. I just sit and relax and start doing it, and I forget I'm supposed to be showing you. So anyway, then just pop this little booklet on top. Make sure it's in the right place. And then we can open that out and give it a really good press. Make sure it's fully sealed. So a good burnish. Sorry for going off camera there, but I'm sure you know what it looks like to glue something. But still, I should have stayed on camera. I do apologise. So make sure this is all burnished down, and then give it time to settle and dry out the glue. And then we have a little booklet, and we can tie a bow I'm not good at bows. There we are. I'll tidy that up properly, but just cut off these end bits. Don't need all of that. There we go. So that's a little booklet. I know I've just tied it, but I'm going to undo it again. And you just undo the bow. And thank you very much to Squdge Crafts for this, the tutorial, for me to follow and do this. And then just open up, you've got a pocket there and a smooth side to put a photo or, you know, whatever you want to put on there. Again, another pocket and a smooth side, and a pocket and a smooth side. So I'm just going to leave this now with something heavy on the top, like my what do you call it, my stamping platform, and then that will keep it pressed down for me while that glue dries. Okay, so that's page 1. And I am just going to say that because I've got like 10 pages to cover, I will probably use this again because it's such a lovely little idea that she had and it works really well. So I'm pleased with that, and it will be featuring again somewhere later in the book. So thank you, Squdge Crafts. Okay, so we finished page 1 and that's ready to go in, and now we're going to do page 2, possibly page 3 if I can get on with them quickly enough. But before I do, you won't believe what's just happened. I've just had a knock on the door, and guess who it was? Barry. Don't tell Ashley because I think it's supposed to be a secret, but Barry's just brought me a skinny latte that I asked for in a brand new mug. Another mug with dabblings in crafts, with pink and blue because they're my favourite colours, and a daisy because that's my favourite flower. I think Barry's flirting. I think you're going to have words, Ashley. Anyway, shall we get on with today's pages? Okay, so because page 1 has, it's sort of fairly bulky for the size of the book, I need to keep, because page 2 is going directly onto the back of page 1, I need to keep this sort of flat-ish. So I'm just going to make page 2 a quick pocket page. So I'll just get on with cutting from that. I'm just using some of these the dies. There was I think there was 3 different lots. This one is cut from the Create the Life You Love set of dies. I can't quite remember, but I'll put it in the description box below. So I'm just going to cut this side and make it into a pocket. I'm also going to cut out the decorative panel from that set of dies so that it's going to decorate the front of the pocket. Okay, so I've cut out all the pieces, all using the same die, just the actual die, the layer die, and then the decorative panel. So I'm just going to pop those together now, and then they will form the basis of page 2. So because this decorative panel is quite, you know, it's quite lacy and what have you, so it needs glue sort of everywhere, otherwise, you know, some of these little pieces will get caught inevitably. So I'm going to use a sponge, a little piece of sponge, and just dab it all over with glue. So I've just cut out just a small piece of a normal piece of kitchen sponge, and I'm just going to dab this. Don't want too much on it, but it needs to be all over. So the best thing to do is to do it this way and just make sure that it's all covered, so that none of the little sticky out pieces, as you might say, will get caught. I'll just make sure it's all covered. And I'm just using the art glitter glue for this because I'm sticking it to glitter paper, but actually it's just to make sure that it will stick to the glitter, like I've just stuck it to this piece of paper. Anyway, let's see how that sticks, because this is I've used the Tonic Studios, I think it's called Turquoise Lake glitter, because I wanted that to be behind just as a decorative thing. I don't want to put too much fancy glitter pages in to this. But it's behind this panel, so it looks nice, and I'll go round it with a bit of pink ink just to finish that piece off, and then we'll stick it in the book. Okay, so I'm just going to stick the layer down for page 2. Try and make sure you get right to the edges on these, and then we can put the pocket down, and then I'm going to have a quick coffee break before my skinny latte goes cold that Barry has brought me all the way from wherever Ashley lives. So it must have been a long drive, but at least it's a nice day for it. And it's really nice actually, it's a lovely skinny latte. I take back everything I ever said about Barry. He seems alright to me. Now he can make a nice skinny latte. Although I know he does cause Ashley some problems, so shouldn't praise him too much. But it was a very kind thing for him to do. There we go, got plenty of glue on there, and then pop the layer down, try and get it as neat and as straight as possible. Does anybody else do that when you've got a bit of glue on your fingers and you wipe it off not without even thinking, and then some of your clothes get covered in glue? I've done that to a few of my tops, but luckily they're only my indoor tops. I don't wear the ones outside. They're almost pyjama tops really, because they never go out in them, and they're just handy to have on for when I'm doing things like this and getting covered in ink and glue. There we go, so that's my layer down. I've taken the backing off the red liner tape, but I'm going to just pop a little bit of this art glitter glue down on it, because it is a good strong glue, just in case I just need that little bit of wiggle room. I'll just neaten that off a little bit. I don't want too much glue. There we go again. Just along the very edges. We make sure those corners are well, make sure the glue's down so that it will stick nicely. I need to take that off, otherwise it will stick my pocket down. Okay, so then just going to position the pocket just there, I think, and then just press that down, make sure it's really adhered around all the edges. And what I normally like to do, just to train the pocket a little bit, I'll just put a couple of pieces of card in, just so that it doesn't get too stiff and I can't get anything into it. So that's my pocket, and that will be page 2. So it's lovely skinny latte time. Okay, so I've had my coffee break, and one very quick and not very well done tidied up session later, I'm now ready to prep for page 3, which is going to feature the flips and flaps as they're called. So I'll just start cutting those out, and I'm just going to use the next page die down so that they'll fit onto my page. So there'll be 4 of these, and there'll be one in each direction, and then they'll be held together, I'm thinking, with magnets. So we'll see how that goes. So I'll get these cut out and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's all those bits cut out. Okay, so this is all the flips and flaps prepped. I mean, I love making these little books, but they are quite labour intensive. There's such a lot of work, just basically in the preparation more than the putting it together, but I do love making them. So anyway, that's by the by. These are the main flips and flaps, and these are the layers to go on them. So I'll just get on with that and then come back to you. Yeah. So what I need to do, get me scissors and just cut the excess off these again, because these are made from the page die and those are made from the layer die, which are the next set down from the ones that I've made the main book from. So that's one. Okay, so now what I need to do is to put scores in these so that they can be turned under and made into like a little sort of hinge system. Okay, so I've got my magnets at the ready that keep sticking to everything, and we just need to make a decision on where I want these to go. Ugh. Can never get them apart. So I'll just slide them apart, keep them at opposite ends, put them over there so they don't stick. And then, so what I think I'll do, I'll have the 2 blue ones coming in from the side and the 2 pink ones top and bottom, I think. So I'll just put the score lines in. I've not done that yet, so I'll just keep those magnets out the way. I'll put the score lines in and then we'll start putting them in the book. Okay, so we've got the page ready to pop these flips and flaps in, and you want to get them as central as possible, neat and tidy and lined up. And just see where that one is. Yep. So that one will be fine there. So we'll just pop that in. Pokey tool. Let's take this tape backing off. And you just want to line it up. And make sure that's stuck down, and then for the other one, take the tape off, or the tape back in, sorry. Why are they always awkward when you're doing them on camera? just to... Okay, so I taught that taper lesson off camera. So then when you're putting the next one in, you just want to make sure it's lined up, these two together. There we go. So that's those two in place, and I'll decorate them up in a sec. Now what we need to do is to decide where the magnet is going to go. So if I say that I want it like that, then I want a magnet underneath on this side. So I'm just going to stick that one down. Luckily these are self-adhesive, I don't need to mess about with these. So I'll just pop that on in the middle. Take the backing off this one. Okay, so I'll continue with this now that I've recharged the battery. So I've stuck my magnets down where I need them to go. So I'm just going to pop the papers down, the layers for this. Okay, so just the last panel to go on now, and then we'll have almost finished this page. What I want to do is just to put some little opening, you know, like a piece of ribbon or something like that, so that you don't have to keep just getting hold of the whole page and pulling it up, because it will get damaged over time. So I'm going to have a think about what I want to put on there. There we go. Just pop this last one down. And then what I'm probably going to have is the pink ones on top, so that, you know, there's a bit more contrast to it. So I'll just finish this off, finish sticking that down. Okay, so that's all the panels on, all the layers. So then that will go in there, and that will click together with the magnet. Then that will go on top, and then the rose panel. So that's the way that page would look, and I'm just going to think about what I want to put on the front of these now to lift them up. Okay, to add to the top of these, just so that it's easier, it's like a, you know, you can pull open, I've just used one of these from the Tonic Studios, the Memory Book Accessories kit, and they just, you cut them out, fold them over, and then they will just go on to the top as like a tab, and then that will help to pull it open. Okay, so that's page 3 done. So I've added these little tabs, and then all it does just folds in, and then that will you can hear it snap together on a magnet. So there's that, and then that folds up and the rose panel folds down, and then that is page 3. Just so that you know, I don't forget to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish, I'm going to do the embellishments at the end, just simply because, you know, it's I like to get the pages done and then just look through the pages and then decide what kind of embellishments I want, because, you know, otherwise I may have changed my mind by the time I get to the end of the book. So so that's that one. So that's pages 1, 2 and 3 done for this part of the videos, and I'll come back next time and do a few more pages and, you know, show you how I decorate those and what have you. Okay, thank you very much for joining me for this part. Thank you, bye bye.